For today, in the city of David, a Saviour has been born to you, who is the Christ. Centuries of hope in God's promise have come to fulfillment. The Messiah is born. Typical of Luke's Gospel, it is the shepherds of Bethlehem, among the poorest and most disregarded of Jewish society, who become the first messengers of the Gospel. From the Christmas story in Luke's Gospel, we have a very romantic image of shepherds as gentle, peaceful figures. But friends, the manger scene image is a far cry from the reality. The shepherds of biblical times were tough, earthly characters who fearlessly used their clubs to defend their flocks from the wolves and other animals. And they had even less patience for the pompous scribes and Pharisees, who treated them as second and third class citizens, barring these ill-bred rustics from the synagogues and courts. And yet, it was to shepherds that God first revealed the birth of the Messiah. The shepherd's vision on the Bethlehem hillside proclaims to all people of every place and generation that Christ comes for the sake of all of humankind. And friends, it is while they were busy doing the ordinary work of their lives that these majestic angels appeared to them. She's rather small, petite, soft-spoken, and sophisticated, but in my mind, she towers above everyone else. Her name is Chrissy Willefeer. We were going through a very tough time as a family during the last 3 years of my high school or senior school education, and it affected me deeply. I really struggled emotionally and did not have anyone to share my pain with. I found catharsis in creative writing, what was then called composition. I envisioned a better life, and the words kept flowing onto every paper I set my hands to. I also struggled with political issues around justice and fairness. Having committed my life to Jesus at the time, I struggled to reconcile the values of my own Christian community with how they lived and treated others. This sometimes led to heated debates with classmates. I felt increasingly isolated from my peers because of that. Now, with regard to the latter, I know that it might have been my own thwarted perceptions, but anyway, that is what I felt at the time. The only place I felt safe and able to express myself without fear of being rejected was in her class. She touched me on my shoulder and looked me in my eyes, and then she said, "Romeo, you are so gifted. You must not stop writing. Your English is so good." She was my English teacher in the late 1980s. This woman, so small in stature, lifted this heavily depressed soul from the dungeons of self-pity and isolation. She gave me permission to be me, and she believed in me. She gave me permission to express myself and to think critically about things. I will always be grateful to her. You see, friends, she did not do anything extraordinary. She simply did the ordinary well. In this moment, that particular moment, this ordinary teacher was used by God to do an extraordinary thing. She did nothing more than live her life with faithfulness and love, but God used the small seeds of her daily routine to change a life forever. She simply chose to use her work to empower and to encourage, and in so doing she propelled me into a better future. She did not only do that for me, but for many others, and by implication my children, that I have come into contact with over the years, because I have since that day chosen to deliberately do the same with and for others. Again, I will be thankful to her forever. In that moment, I came to believe that no matter where you live and no matter what circumstance you find yourself in, the Lord can reach into your life and give your life purpose and meaning. Friends, as we celebrate the birth of Jesus, friend of the lowly and the marginalized, the one who identifies with the poor, the one who used the sideline shepherds to be his mouthpiece, and the one who equips the voiceless to herald good news for all, it is my prayer that we shall be a Chrissy Olafir to those around us. My prayer is that we shall do the best we can in our ordinary day-to-day lives and work to build others up and propel them into a life of peace, hope, joy, and love. Happy Christmas, dear friends.